and welcome to my Mobile Ultrasound Business Podcast. Buckle up as we talk about an array of topics relating to the mobile ultrasound business industry. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you love our content. The wait is now over, and we are live in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the My Mobile Ultrasound Business Podcast Online. Today, we're back with episode number 6. So, hope everybody has had a great new year and has adjusted accordingly. And we're very happy to be back. So, today, we're going to be talking about the sales process, and we're going to break this up into 2 different parts. The first part is going to be talking about setting appointments, and then we're going to come back later and have a second part to this podcast on the sales process, and then we're going to talk about what to do at the appointment while you're actually having the appointment, and then what should you do after the appointment moving forward. But for now, let's just discuss the sales process and setting appointments. So, you may ask, well, Austin, why do we want to set appointments? So, pretty much in this business, you don't have any business without clients. And typically, the way you get clients is that you have to talk to people and you have to set a time to present your products or services to them. So in our case, we'd be presenting our mobile ultrasound services, or if you're offering like screening services or any other services related to ultrasound, it's going to be more or less the same process. You want to set a time with the decision maker or the important person or the manager to discuss your products and services and ask for the sale. Now, this is not going to be a one-time thing. Oftentimes, sometimes it takes a couple of meetings, a couple of appointments. Sometimes it takes a couple of outreaches and a couple of attempts. You're not always going to get the decision maker on the first call. So what we do with our company on our marketing side is that we have agents make the calls. So there's going to be a few ways you can do this. Now, some people send emails, but we consider mainly 2 ways of doing this, right? And we actually incorporate emails as well into this. So we're going to talk about these 2 ways that you can do this. So the first way is drop-ins. So there's drop-ins, and then the second way is going to be phone calls. So we'll just go ahead and discuss drop-ins first. So with drop-ins, what you're doing, you're basically what I like to call canvassing the area. So you may pull up Google Maps, or you may have a list or a database where there's like a bunch of different clinics or healthcare facilities or providers, and you decide to randomly do drop-ins. So drop-ins is exactly what it sounds like. There's not a set an appointment. You're just like literally just coming in randomly and dropping in and saying hello and trying to get your information to the decision maker, which is the office manager, or can actually be the head physician in charge or the owner of the practice or clinic. So drop-ins, they can be effective, but what we like to do more often is we like to preface a drop-in with a phone call. So if you can preface a drop-in with a phone call, then you're going to have a much higher chance of succeeding and a much higher opportunity of getting through to the person that you're trying to get through to and connect to. So typically what happens with a drop-in is that you'll have what we call your promotional pack. So in your promotional pack, and keep in mind, we have all these things that are in the promotional pack included in the My Mobile Ultrasound Business.com online consulting program. But nonetheless, in your promotional pack, you're going to have a folder that's going to have all of your promotional materials, and it's going to have your compliance letter in it. It's going to have your business cards in it. It may have a brochure in it, or it may have a sample flyer, and it may have a what we call a ultrasound marketing letter, which is about a page long, and it just explains the benefits of using mobile ultrasound services. So this is pretty much what is going to be in your promotional pack that you're going to have in your hand when you drop in, right? So when you drop in, the goal is to approach the front desk or receptionist and just introduce yourself. You're saying, "Hey, my name is Austin with XYZ Mobile Ultrasound Service Company. I wanted to stop by and meet with the office manager for 2 minutes to just drop this information off and tell him or her a little bit about our service." Now, sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll get through. Sometimes you'll be placed in a waiting area and then you'll just have to sit and wait until the office manager is available. And so, this is why we like to have a phone call placed before to just let them know that you're going to come in and just drop off some information and just maybe want to chat with them for 2 minutes. So, if you're doing a drop in, just keep that in mind. It's not guaranteed. To have more guarantee with a drop in, you want to do a brief phone call beforehand and just let them know that you're coming in. Otherwise, you can even drop the information off with the front desk, or you can have the front desk or the receptionist give the information to the manager. Now, I will say this, if you do it this method, there's not a guarantee that the ultrasound information packet or the promotional packet will always get to the manager. So it's better to um, just personally hand it to the manager yourself, or if you can't, if they're too busy that day, you can just ask, well, hey, what's the best time for me to come back by and just chat with the manager for 5 minutes and drop this information off. I really wanted to hand this information to the manager and speak to the manager. So you can do it that way as well if you want to make sure that information gets in their hands. Now, that's the first method that we say are the most too popular. So the second method is phone calls and appointment setting. So with phone calls and appointment setting, typically if you hire a team to do this, they're gonna have telephone software on their computers that's operated in the cloud, and they're going to have a list of hundreds and hundreds of clinics that they're going to call through. And this is how we do it with our internal marketing teams and our external marketing departments and appointment setters that we work with. We use calling software, we use a phone number, we use follow up software to keep track of everything. And so we can know, like, who did we contact? Who did we not contact? Who do we need to follow up with? So you're going to need to come up with a method if you're going to do this by yourself where you can make the phone calls, and you're going to have to come up with a system where you can track all of this as well. You can do this with a CRM if you want to yourself, or you can hire a company like ours to come in and do this marketing and appointment setting for you. So, however, let's just move on. So, with the phone calls, these agents or you yourself, you're going to make the phone calls, right? And what you want to do, you want to develop a script, right? And for those in the My Mobile Ultrasound business program that we have, our consulting program online, you're going to have the scripts, you're going to have the documents, you're going to have the word tracks, everything you need to follow that set path and know what to say next. So you're going to need a list, number one. Number two, you're going to need a script. And so once you get on that phone, you want to read from your script, but you want to know the script well enough that you don't sound like a robot reading off a sheet of paper. This is very important because this will just come across unnatural. So you want to practice that script and know it like the back of your hand. But anyway, the script is pretty much going to be able to flow in the way towards the office manager. The main purpose of this script is to get the office manager or the director on the phone. And this is going to be your point of contact person that you're trying to reach. So, with that being said, one of the toughest obstacles in doing this is the gatekeeper. Oftentimes, you'll get hung up on, sometimes be told rude things, sometimes cursed out, not literally, but close. So it's in your best interest to befriend the gatekeeper. Don't get mad at the gatekeeper or the receptionist when they hang up on you or just tell you they're not interested. The thing is, the gatekeeper doesn't have the power to make a decision. However, we need the gatekeeper and to help us get through to the office manager. So we have to and we must befriend the gatekeeper, and keep it polite, even when they're rude, even when they hang up. And we just keep trying and we keep following up, right? So, um, okay, so basically, what you want to do is on your script, you want to call and you want to ask for the office manager. Now, you're going to get some objections when you do this. We have those on our scripts in our program. But let's say you get through the gatekeeper or the receptionist and you get transferred through to the office manager. So, what you're going to do next, you're going to want to ask qualifying questions. So, a qualifying question is pretty much going to set you up to ask for the appointment. Some examples of these qualifying questions are, "Hey, how are you all currently handling your ultrasounds right now? Are they are they performed in house or are they referred out?" So they'll reply and then you'll answer. And then you can ask additional questions like, "Okay, how's that process going for you all so far? What are some problems, issues that you guys see with that?" And they may say, "Well, sometimes we get the reports kind of late. Sometimes we have to track down our patients." So it really just depends. Like your word track is going to be based on their responses. So if they are referring these ultrasounds out and not performing them in house, your next word track is going to be somewhere along the lines of, "Oh, okay, I understand. It sounds like we may be able to help you guys out. It sounds like you guys are missing out on some of that revenue as well by referring these ultrasounds out to external clinics or the hospital, when you can guys could be keeping some of that revenue and capturing some of that ancillary revenue, which will ultimately increase your bottom line." So here's what I would like to do. I would like to set an appointment with you for about 15 minutes to just go over our services that we offer. And during that meeting, I'll just kind of show you how we can increase your revenue, increase your patient services, as well as increase your patient satisfaction by offering these services in house. And then from there, you just ask for the appointment. You just say, what time works better for you? Is next Monday in the morning or afternoon better? Or you just pretty much you feed off the energy from the decision maker and from the office manager. So that's pretty much going to be it when it comes to appointment setting. Now that's going to be the simple way to do it. Now, just because it's going to be simple doesn't mean it's easy. There's going to be a lot of rejection. You're going to get hung up on a lot of times. Like our agents that make calls, I can't tell you how many times, um, like the receptionists are rude to them. But what we pretty much do is we put them in a follow up category and we circle back with them. So that's pretty much going to be how you set appointments and how you start building your book of business. And so there's some other things in there too that we discuss more so in the program, like handling objections. What about rebuttals, things like that, to help overcome some of the office managers, um, where they're not like sure they want to set this appointment with you. So we talk about that in the ultrasound consulting program as well. And we have those objections and those responses and those scripts too in that program. So this is gonna pretty much be it, guys. I mean, it's a little more complicated than this, but this is pretty much it. You're just gonna call. You're gonna ask questions. You're gonna figure out if they are sending out ultrasounds, and if they are, you're pretty much going to be that person that introduces a solution to them to be able to help them. Now, what do you do in the case where they're not interested, right? Or they don't have the need at that moment? This is what you do. You just thank them for their time, and you just put them like in your follow-up cadence, and then you just reach out to them like every 3 to 4 or 5 months, right? So never give up on the prospect. You just keep reaching out, and over time you'll build a relationship, and you just never know when you'll get that magic call to where they could actually use your services, and then you'll be top of mind because you've been consistent and you followed up consistently, and so you're going to be the person they reach out to for the contract. So that's pretty much how it goes, guys. And also, if they are already using the ultrasound service, you guys should be taking that as an opportunity to provide a competitive quote. So if the office manager says, hey, well, we already have a company that comes in and does that for us, you can say something along the lines of, oh, okay, well, hey, that's great. I understand you guys already have a company that does this for you. However, if you wouldn't mind, I would love to generate you guys a competitive quote or offer you guys a quote just in case you guys need a backup ultrasound service down the road. And so this is going to help you guys as well overcome some of those objections and still get your foot in the door. And remember, the key to winning with this is follow up, follow up, follow up. So, all right, guys, that's my time for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast on the sales process. And go out there and get some results. And if you guys have any questions and are interested in our program, our online consulting program, or if you guys need marketing services and appointment setting services where we literally do all of this for you, just send us a message. Visit us on www.mymobileultrasoundbusiness.com and click the chat tab and write marketing services needed. And we'll get back to you right away and get you a quote. Alrighty, guys, that's my time for today. See you guys on the next one.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. If you are interested in starting your very own mobile ultrasound business, please visit us online at www.mymobileultrasoundbusiness.com.